If you have a special event coming up, or you're just in the mood for cake, keep in mind our friends at Sweet Squirrel Bakery on Instagram and Facebook and Gmail. Again, that is Sweet Squirrel Bakery for your next event or just cuz. All right. Welcome to another episode of your favorite show, Meet Someone Who. Today we have my best friend's husband's little brother, Ryan.
What's
Hello,
up?
Ryan.
What's up?
Hey, it's good, nice to meet you. I don't know if we've ever met before. I feel like I have in spirit.
Yeah, I feel like we should have, but we haven't crossed paths yet.
I've heard a lot about you, and all good stuff from Emma. Emma's our favorite. Shouts out, Emma was my first show for the listeners. The It Is Terminally Ill episode. Featuring her, and she's actually here as part of the live studio audience right now.
Bless up.
Hey, what's up, E? It's good to see you here. So yeah, the main, I guess, your episode is called Meet Someone Who Has Popped a Pill or Two.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to, like, I took a pill in Ibiza. Like, I'm not trying to get all what pills are you into, and shit like that. I'm not trying to get into that, but let's get into first as something we can connect on. You're bipolar.
Yes, I am bipolar.
Bipolar type 1 gang.
I have bipolar type 1.
And we were just talking about like our favorite hospitals.
Yeah.
where would you say that your popped a pill or two, your addiction had come from that, or was it something that? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I made myself schizophrenic by taking so much drugs. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like I feel like I increased. Not my bipolar, because I don't think that's how it works, but I increased the symptoms of it by abusing Adderall and abusing things like that.
Right. I'm not really sure if it, affected the bipolar, if that's why I started taking it, but I believe part of the reason why I was taking drugs was because I was trying to self-medicate that bipolar, and how bipolar works, obviously, but sometimes you're really up or really down in layman's terms.
Yeah.
And when I would take, whatever it was, it would make me pick a mood, whether I was up or whether I was down.
Right.
And that's why I took those pills. So that was the only time that I felt normal, so to speak. I have not felt normal since I was 13 years old. I can't explain it, but it's the weirdest feeling that it's just out of place, that I feel like I have to use some sort of substance in my body
to alter the way you feel.
Right.
And for me, it was mainly like, hey, I know I can interact with people and do things without being fucked up, but I like interacting with people more when I'm fucked up. That's just how it is. And I feel like I'm funnier. I feel like I'm sure I'm not. Like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I'm not really funnier.
I think that's a mindset that.
To me, I was just I'm floating right now, man. When I was 17, I was... I had a surgery on one of my cysts, and they, drained it or whatever, but they gave me hydros.
Oh, okay. I know what that's like.
So I would show up to school and take like 5 and just go throughout the day and just see what would happen and fall asleep in class, and that shit, just seeing what's up, and I feel like it was such a not a hard time, but such a weird time to go through that, because I'm like, I'm in school, people are scared to drink, like I'm not even smoking weed at this point. I was just doing hydros just to do hydros.
No, absolutely.
Was it something like to pass the time, or when did you start? What was the first time you ever like just took a pill because you not even needed to?
So the first time that I ever did anything was I was 13 years old. It was 8th grade going into 9th grade year. And that's when the floodgates opened. My father had actually had a stroke that summer. And, my parents, my whole family was, helping my father out and everything. And I became extremely depressed because I guess I didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. And the first time I used drugs was, I was depressed, and I said, maybe this will help. And I experimented, and that's, that's how it started. And I took it. Greatest feeling I've had in the world. And I said, man, this is pretty nice, but I didn't get into it then as I did later on. I mean, that was, just it was a try it thing.
The trial version is now up. It is time to invest in real addiction now.
Right. Yeah.
And it sounds like it just progressed from there. Yeah.
Yeah. that I can't remember that day, but I remember that feeling. I mean, I remember it was sunny outside. It was in the morning. My mother was, out of the bedroom. I actually stole my mother. She had hydros, and I took one. And like I said, it was such an amazing feeling. And I guess that implemented the seed in my head of this is what's going to happen.
This is something I can control too.
Yep.
Like, I want to feel this way, I just take one more. I want to feel this way times 2, I'll take 2 more. Like,
right. That's that's exactly how it goes. And that's how, most of the time with addiction, you take it the first time you take it, you don't think that, you never think that it's going to get to a point that it does.
No, but then it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I have 3 more for today. I'm taking the first one at this time early. You know what I mean? Like, break it up,
goodness.
like when you're running out. Like,
absolutely. So you are 100% correct on that. Let me tell you something. Every single time I took drugs, I knew who I was getting drugs from. I knew where I was going to use it. I knew when I was going to use it. I knew exactly how much I was going to use. I literally planned my entire day around taking pills.
Yeah.
So I made sure, no matter what, first of all, that I wouldn't get caught, and that's another thing, just being paranoid the entire time. But I made sure I wouldn't get caught. I made sure that I can function at least so others around me wouldn't know that I was using. And yeah, I mean, it was a constant, endless cycle of popping pills. I mean, that's the true definition of popping pills, and it didn't get better, no matter how many times I said, "Oh yeah, I can stop. It was to a point where I wasn't gonna stop. I didn't care about stopping.
There was nothing holding you back from it.
No.
It sounds like. I mean, that's the same way I was. I was like, and I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a kid. I don't have shit. As long as I'm paying for my shit, and I mean, it's right now, like with all the therapy I've been in, my parents are helping me out a lot. So I can't really come up and be like, I pay for all my shit, and I'm doing all this, and I'm king of the whatever. So I feel like when you're an adult and you have that ability to say, like, I do provide for myself and I do those things, why not?
Right.
Why can't I?
No.
You can't tell me what to do. You
Absolutely.
can't tell me what to do. Like, who are you to say I can't feel good in the way I feel? People drink. People go home and drink all the time.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
I feel like it's such a way to like rationalize it, and you're so young. And how old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
Oh
I turned
my
20
God.
this year.
So you said it started when you were 13.
Right.
Has it been just a fluctuating thing? Does it get worse when there's hard times? Like,
so I've been sober almost a year now.
wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And there isn't one day that goes by that, I'm sober, I'm on drugs no matter what. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't wake up in the morning and I say, am I going to take drugs or not today? I mean, it's a constant thing. There's not a day that goes by where I don't question myself if I'm going to take drugs or not. Luckily, I have been making the decision not to, and I plan on keeping that going. My body, I just feel so much better being off drugs. And I said, I said that drugs made me feel better, but it was an illusion. It didn't actually make me feel better. Matter of fact, it hurt my body more than it was helping.
For me, I'm such a numbers person, so it's really easy to it's helpful to illustrate things. When people are like, why do you like drugs so much? Or what's, for whatever your drug of choice is, I feel like before you start that drug, you're at 0.
Right,
when
absolutely.
you do that drug, it's 100.
Yep.
When you do that drug again, it's 80. When you do that drug again, it's 50. But when you stop doing that drug, you don't go back to 0.
No.
You go down to negative 100.
Yep.
And when you do that drug again, guess where it brings you back? To 0.
Yes.
It doesn't bring you to 100 anymore. It doesn't feel good anymore, and it takes a long time to get to that point. But when I was abusing drugs, I just took drugs to feel back to normal. That normal. I don't even want to be high anymore. I just want to feel fucking normal.
See, that is such a great way to put that. I started off taking 1 or 2 pills in a day. And then a week from then, I was starting to get used to it. So then you take, 3 to 4 pills in a day. Mm-hmm. And then it just keeps building on from there. And that is a big reason that people overdose, is because they end up taking 30 pills in a day and to get that same high that they did the very first time. And they can't achieve it. And that's also why people start using, I guess you would say, more hardcore drugs. I started with hydros and Percocets, stuff like that, switched to Oxycontin, and then eventually, I came to a point where I tried heroin, And
How many times did you try that?
I only did it once. We
Tell me
talked
what.
about this.
Tell me right before we started recording, we did talk about this. So it's interesting I mean, I've been offered crack before. So I've watched somebody do crack. I have a voice recording of her offered me crack, and I said no. It was my friend from JPS,
Okay.
from the hospital. She was needing help financially. She needed $20 to turn her phone back on. So I gave her $20, got her phone turned back on, because she was just I just felt for her. My heart like ached for her while we were in the hospital, because she lost her soda privileges, and
I know exactly what that's like.
So I brought her Dr. Pepper one time, and we just bonded.
Man,
and
bless up.
Right. So when I go visit her, she offers me crack, and I'm really sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm going to turn my recording. I'm going to turn my phone on, because if I do crack right now, that's it. Like, I can't, because
there's no going back after
that. There's no going back. There's no for me at least. I know if I try crack, I'm gonna love crack, and I have $20 to buy fucking crack. I'll do it. So when she asked me, I was sitting there. I was just like, you know what? I have a job interview tomorrow, so I can't. And she's like, damn, well, it kind of goes out of your system real quick. And I was like, not that quick.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Like, I don't know how else to say this, but no. So in what situation were you offered? Did you seek this out? Or was somebody like, hey, there's H at the party, bro. Like,
there was actually,
go do H.
This was my junior year of high school.
Oh, my God.
I was friends with some people who had already graduated, and they used drugs too. See, I never bought drugs from them, but they told me, hey, where you can get this, this, and this. And, they said, we got a dealer that's real responsible, real great guy, would never screw you over. And I ended up going to that dealer's house. It was in downtown. It was close to downtown Fort Worth. And we were looking at his stash. I had a couple buddies of mine with me, and we were looking at his stash. And he said, hey, I got some good stuff in the back. Why don't you come over here? And I said, okay, this ought to be rich. So I did. And he said, hey, would you try heroin? And at that point, I had already been taking, I had went through Hydros, I had went through Percocets, I had went through Oxycontin, I tried uppers, I tried Adderall, Vyvanse, Daytrana, Ritalin. I was like, why not?
Why not?
Why not once, right? That's what they always say. Oh, just try it once. So I...
You're right, because there's this show I was watching that's like, hey, one of my bucket list things is to do heroin under the Aurora Borealis. Like, before I die.
Okay, that's...
I might try it again after that. I might do it again.
You say we're going for number 2.
But okay, so he offers you heroin, and you say...
He offered me heroin, and I stood there shocked for a second, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I've already tried everything else. Why not try this? So
you're how old at this point? You're 17?
I would have been 17 at this point. Yeah,
wow.
I was 17, and I tried it, and I went to one of the buddies with me. We went to his house, and they didn't buy any heroin, but they said, yeah, Ryan, it'll be okay. You'll be okay. We're here to support you and everything.
So you bought it, and you did it right then and there?
I did it right then and there, and that was the closest.
How did you do it? Was it like straight up? Was there a needle involved?
Yes.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Did
I did it in between my toes.
Or really?
Yep.
Oh my God. And you weren't even like out of veins. You just did it between the toes so nobody would see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't want my parents or family or friends. So I was kind of a popular kid in high school, and I didn't want anyone to think that I had a problem. Absolutely not.
I just got blood drawn. What are you guys talking about?
But I had tried it, and that like I said, that is the closest I've ever felt to death in my entire life, and I would never ever wish it upon my worst enemy.
So it didn't feel like a rush of good then bad, or was it just all?
I thought, in that moment,
dying.
I thought I was gonna die. I really did. I mean,
Did you do a lot? Like, did they even tell you? Did they come with a little booklet? Like,
no,
this
it was
is how
just
much
a
you
dime
should
bag.
do? Like, just a.
Yeah, it was just obviously drugs react on everyone differently. I don't know if I had a bad reaction to it or what it was, but like I said, I mean that I literally crossed my arms and I fell on the ground, and I thought I was gonna die. I mean, I was really prepared, and I had a million thoughts rushing through my head in a minute, and I ended up passing out, and I woke up, and it was just, I mean, I was in tears. I couldn't believe that I woke up, because I really thought that was the end for me.
Yeah.
Hold on. And
You're good. Take your time.
so I woke up, and I was in tears, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do drugs anymore. And that was the first thought that came to mind. I can't do drugs anymore. And man, I was back to taking pills about a week later.
Really?
Yeah, I did not. And I do have a good friend, a couple good friends of mine. His name's Jordan. He said, man, you gotta, you can't keep doing this stuff. He said it's gonna kill you. It's hurting everyone else around you. You don't see it, but that time, so drugs speak for you. So, like I said, drugs didn't care about the bridges I burned. Drugs didn't care about the opportunities I missed. Drugs didn't care about how I destroyed my life. It didn't matter. That when it calls, you answer. That's how it goes. And I've heard that before in my life, that when it calls, you answer, and that's really how it goes. And I started popping pills a week later, and that experience was always in the back of my head.
But it wasn't enough to
Make me stop at that point.
Especially because you're not doing heroin anymore. You're just like, oh, this isn't so bad compared to that. Like, nobody wants me to. If you guys want me to do heroin, I'll do it. But I'd rather do pills. Like,
That's
I feel
exactly.
like you're offering what you can. You're like, what I can do for you guys is not do heroin.
Yeah.
What I won't do is heroin. What I will do is continue to take these pills and opiates and all these things, because it's so much less frowned upon. Like, you see someone
absolutely.
You see someone in the street and they look like they're on drugs. You don't assume that they're like, oh, they have an Oxycontin problem. Like, no, they're doing shit between their toes, like you were just saying. Like, so it's just interesting to where you had a taste of that, like, really, really down life. Like, this could be me.
My gosh.
I'm sure when you woke up, you were just like, this could be my life. That's how it could be every day. If I don't shape up, that's how it could be. But I feel like for you, did you feel like shaping up was just doing less pills, or?
See, yeah, I mean, I'd already been to rehab at that point, and I was like, hey,
Was it a 28-day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I can do this successfully. I have no doubt I can do this successfully. And that's such a messed up way of thinking. You cannot do, whatever drug you're doing, especially painkillers, okay? If you say that you can do that successfully, I mean, you're wrong. There's no one that can do. I mean, if you're prescribed it, obviously you're prescribed it for a reason. As long as you don't abuse it, then you're taking it right. But if you are abusing whatever drug you're taking, there is no such thing as using it right. Everything is good in limits, as they say. If you have too much of something good, it's bad. But no, I kept telling myself, I can limit myself to 15 pills in a day. And, I was going to school like you were talking about. And man, I mean, I had a bag full of pills on me, and I was already caught at school with pills on me.
Really?
And it was a large amount. I mean, it was almost 300 pills.
Wow. Were you selling at this point, or were you?
Oh no! See, my addiction
you just had
was
enough
that bad. Yep.
You just had enough for you, and this is for me. I don't know about you guys.
See, that's what they tried saying was that I was selling, and I just,
No, guys, I just love carrying my drugs with me, guys.
It was so bad. So I've been through withdrawals many times in my life, and every single time, I mean, withdrawals is the best way I can describe it is like the flu times 10. Because I mean, you shake, you sweat. I was crying. You can't eat, you can't sleep.
Yeah.
It is just the absolute worst feeling that there is. It is the absolute worst feeling that there is, and I hated withdrawals so much, but once again, then I kept telling myself, oh, I can keep doing this, and then I don't have to worry about the withdrawals. But little did I know that you're going to have to stop at some point.
You're going to have to. There's no...
And I was going to have withdrawals, and that's the way of thinking about it.
I couldn't even imagine, because when I was taking hydros, I was like, 5 pills this day or 6 pills that day, but never like 15. I couldn't imagine the next day after taking 15 pills. I feel like I would feel like a goddamn wreck. Like,
before I went to the last rehab facility I went to was Clear Fork over Nasal, Texas. And it got to a point where I was taking between 20 to 30 hydros in a day. And I just,
that gets expensive. Well, do you have a second job?
It was between me buying and then stealing from everyone I could.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's what an addict does, is they steal
and
from others and they hurt others.
Are not that hard to come across.
No, they're extremely easy.
People get prescribed hydros like nobody's business. They gave me, for my wisdom teeth, hydros like I was like 17, 18. I was just like, okay, I guess this is what it is, and this is what I want, and this is how it is. But was it, and I'm not a drug expert, but opiates, painkillers, hydros, Oxy, Percocet, are those all the same like class?
So OxyContin is actually so the doctors they actually used to back in the day they used to prescribe OxyContin more than they would hydros, Percocet, stuff like that. But then they realized, oh my gosh, this is so addictive. So OxyContin is actually in like a higher class.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
it's
I
right
never
below
hear
heroin and
people-
fentanyl and
yeah,
morphine.
Yeah. I never hear people getting prescribed Oxy anymore.
No, absolutely not. That is something that I mean, that's why. So you buy hydros on the street. I mean, you can get a pill for anywhere between $5 to $15. Okay, you get an OxyContin on the street. I mean, that's about $185 per pill. So I mean, it's
Really?
crazy. It's crazy money. You know, that's at least in my experience. That's what I
Right.
have found people selling them for, and it was just crazy money. But it got to a point where I was able to trade, my dealer for something, and they would give the pills to me, whether it was alcohol or no matter what it was, I would get that for them, and they would give it to me. The only thing, all of the people that sold it to me, they said that, OxyContin at least, that their parents gave it to them for pain or something, so that that their parents were prescribed it, but you can't get to prescribe that anymore, and they got prescribed it when their parents were like 14 or 15. So you
Damn.
can't get that. I mean, OxyContin is such a hard thing to find. Obviously, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna find a way to find it. That's just like heroin, and no matter anything else, if that's what you want to do and you put your mindset to it, you're gonna find a way to get that
I
stuff.
bet.
So yeah,
So the last time you were in rehab, you said it's been about a year you've been clean. Was it a year ago? Was that the last?
Actually, the last time I went to rehab, I got out. I didn't use anything for about a month and a half, and I ended up using drugs again, of course. And I told myself, I can do this again. This is round 2 type stuff. Why not? I can learn. I can teach myself to manage to be functioning and still use drugs. And it got to a point where my parents, at this point I was still in high school. My parents gave me an ultimatum. It was basically you can either get sober or you can go somewhere else. And I that left me with a huge decision. I mean, I loved doing drugs. I mean, I really did.
It's part of your
so
lifestyle.
much.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's hard to stop. I mean, I fully understand. So.
Yeah, my parents said, get off the drugs or go. And there was one morning I woke up in my bed and I just was staring at the ceiling, and it was beautiful outside, and I don't know, something just clicked in my brain that I got to stop this or I'm going to really destroy my life. And I'm so grateful that did click in my mind, because I see people that I went to rehab with. When I went to Clear Fork, there was 33 gentlemen between the ages of 12 to 19 that came and went, and 4 of them that I know have overdosed since being out of there. And I see things like that, and they're so young. They're so young, and it just, it scares me. And I'm just so grateful that for whatever reason, I'm still here on this planet, because there's so many opportunities that I should not be. I should not be walking. I should be either 6 feet behind bars, or I should be 6 feet underground. So either way, I have my freedom. I live a great life. Love my family. Love my brother. Love my sister. Love my mother and my father. And they really stuck themselves out to help me as much as possible. But
That's good to hear.
It got to a point for them where they cannot help you get sober. You have to help yourself. And I did help myself, and I learned, and now I have the capability and the privilege of going to past rehab facilities that I've been to and go speak at them as a guest speaker. And even if I can change the way one person thinks, and that helps one person get sober, that is one person that you don't have to worry about, are they going to be alive or dead when they wake up in the morning. And it's a crazy thing. Addiction is just absolutely insane. To say I popped a pill or 2 is an understatement. And I've been through a journey, and like I said, I wouldn't put addiction on my worst enemies, because I've been so miserable
because it's such a, for me, with being along with being bipolar too, it's something that you can't see.
No.
You have to really talk to someone and really, because what I love about you, Ryan, is I love that you say you go to your past rehab facilities and you go speak and inspire people, even if you
Right.
inspire one person. I feel the same way, and I spoke at my ex-boyfriend's rehab facility. I went in and saw him on, Family Day or whatever it was.
Yes.
Love Family Day. And I see everybody that's in there, and there's like only one or two people that have the little spark that you do. Where they're like ready to go, and they really feel it, and every time you've talked about waking up in your bed and there's a beautiful day outside and shit like that, that's so nice to hear, because I feel like those people that don't make it, they that's what they're missing, is that little bitty spark. And I feel like I'm so glad that you have it, and I'm so glad, I don't know where it came from or how you have it, but you have it, and I'm glad to hear it in you, and it's really, really inspiring to see you here today. So I really appreciate you being here and making the time for me.
Man, I'm super thankful for that. Getting to be on this podcast, anyways, is pretty cool. This is my first time talking about my life experience as an addict on a podcast, and this is something that
I have a feeling it won't be your last.
I
Not
like
maybe
this quite
we'll
a bit.
stop, past being the addict part, but we can maybe talk about sports or something fun. We
Yeah.
just played my dad's Corvette. Maybe we could talk about cars. Or
That was a
something.
lot of fun.
You and Tyler car edition episode.
One day I'm gonna be at that level of success. One day.
We'll get that Corvette one day. But so yeah, that is great to hear that you go back. Is there people that in your life, like you said, you knew a couple of people from your past rehab facilities? Was it you just said the name?
It was Clear Fork.
Clear Fork. Do you keep up with anybody that's like also sober too now, or was it just? I know it's hard to keep up with people from those facilities, because I try to keep up with my friends in the hospital.
Can't
and
share
it's just-
contact information.
And yeah, you can't share anything, like, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I've had a couple of my old therapy friends here on as a guest, and even when we were like in therapy, they're like, okay, you can't talk about it, you can't, you're not technically not allowed to hang out. Like we even went to lunch and shit together, and I was just like, they're like, no, you're not supposed to do that. So, have you made any friends with this? Like, made any connections? Because I feel like I have a lot of connections with people, like deep connections that you don't even know of yet. And it's just like, oh, you were an addict too, or oh, you used to take 9 Adderall a day too. Like, fun.
Yeah, so out of all of the rehab facilities I've been to and everything, there's only been 2 people that I still keep in contact with, and I would probably say 95% of the people went back to using drugs, and they continue to use drugs to this day. And it's really sad because they're such a young age, and I pray and I hope to God that they are listening. Don't give up. Don't ever give up, and always keep your head up. No matter what you do, there are ways to get better. There are ways. Seek help. I mean, no matter what, you can't do anything by yourself. You got to get help. I wouldn't be able to be here where I am today if I did not get help, and I did not
Help
ask
is
for help.
it's so hard to ask for sometimes.
It's terrible.
And it's humbling. And even this past couple months where I've had to ask my parents, like, hey, I need to go to the hospital, like something's wrong, like my med's not working, something. Has this like helped you seek, like, because when you're on pills and you're not sober, it's hard to know what your mind's going through, because if you're just high or not high all the time, that's high and not high. But am I sad? Am I happy? Am I depressed? Am I this? I have no idea. So trying to find the right meds while I'm high all the time, it's almost non-existent. That's not going to
Impossible.
work.
Right.
So you have to be sober, and you have to, take those meds. A couple months later, how do I feel? Like, it's such a trial and error with these meds too. So for the bipolar, have you found success in those meds, or any type of therapy or anything like that?
So let's start with therapy first. Okay. I have talked to many psychiatrists, many therapists, and I would rather talk to someone I'm close with rather than someone I go see once a week and pay them $1,000 per visit or whatever. Just because I can't build a connection with that person. I don't really feel like that person is for me. They are there. Yes, they're there to help me, and yes, they're there to listen. But I don't think they're really there for me. So
how I describe it to people, it's like, okay, the meds, the therapy, the psychiatrist, they're all there to get me back to square one.
yes,
the real
that's
work starts.
That's a good point.
with me.
Right.
And how I'm talking and how I'm communicating and how I'm going through my emotions. And when we take drugs and we do drugs, you're numbing all those feelings. And
Yes.
you know, like as soon as I got sober, I would just cry all the time. And I'm like, what am I crying about? And it's like, no, you were sad last week, but you were high instead. So you didn't get to be sad. Now you're going to be sad. Now you're crying.
Absolutely. And no, don't get me wrong. There are still days where, you know, I have terrible depressive episodes, or I have terrible manic episodes. And the manic episodes are very, very scary, because if I am that energetic and pumped up and I'm angry, that is such a scary thing for the people around me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's terrifying. It's mortifying, whatever you want to call it. I literally, you know, whoever I end up talking to relationship wise, I always start off the gate with telling them, hey, I'm bipolar. There are going to be times where I'm not me. So I need you to know that. And some of the time it's it's met with some curiosity, and some of the time it is met with some hostility. And
that's what I had to tell Hannah the very first time we met. Like, I met her off this app, so I was just nervous, and I was just like, hey man, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I'm not working right now. I'm on a leave of absence. I am in behavioral therapy. I take this medicine. I'm bipolar. I have a personality disorder. Because of that, or because of, you know, I don't know what the personality disorder comes from. It's from, you know, childhood trauma that we love. Because we love that. But
cue the horn noise.
I need one of those sound effect things on here, like pew pew pew.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be something. I'd be too distracted. I would do that the whole time. It's like, what did you say? Pew pew pew. But where was I going with that? Medicine bipolar. Oh, so yeah, no, I get fronting every relationship, every interaction, and I always ask her, like, hey baby, like, I was sad. I'm sad right now. Did I say something mean, or did I say something wrong, or if there's anything wrong I'm doing, please tell me. Like, I won't snap. Like, she told me, like, we were trying to record an episode.
Okay.
Me and my girlfriend. And I asked her, it's like, you know what I asked you, is there anything we can't go over? Is there anything we can't talk about? And she's like, no, everything's fine. And then when we get to it, I start talking about her sexuality and how, because I'm her first girlfriend. So, you know, like, how did that work with your family? What do they say? And she's like, I kind of don't want to talk about that. Bro, when I tell you, like, okay, how I describe being bipolar and this personality disorder, having them both at the same time, I had about 3 different reactions when she did that. The first 2 were, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You stupid goddamn whatever the fuck. I asked you if there was nothing we couldn't go over. I asked you, and you said nothing. So what the fuck? It was that third reaction that goes, baby, it's okay. You didn't know you didn't want to talk about that. We're all fine. Everything's fine here. I love us. Like, so it's that third reaction that gets me through work, that gets me through school, that gets me through having conversations, that gets me through stuff like this podcast. Like, I can't just say anything I want to say. I gotta, and it happens like lightning speed now.
Yes.
But it used to be where it was just like, I tell you something and I would be like, hold please, while I think of my reaction real quick.
Yeah.
So has this taught you to be a more, when I was using and on any kind of drugs, and even now if I like drink too much or, you know, have that third beer or fourth beer, I'd be like, well guys, like, just talking my shit. And I feel like when I was using drugs, I would be more funny and be more this. I'm sure I wasn't again, but I would say more stuff and be out there and put myself out there more. And it wasn't ever fun, but have you found yourself more calm in social situations now?
I still
Or are you more out there?
So I've always had, so I don't know if this makes sense, but I've always had some sort of social anxiety, but that anxiety helps me interact with people better. So I'm a huge performer. I mean, I love theater. I played football. I played basketball. Being anxious, you know, I always tell myself being anxious is going to help me perform no matter what it is. It's going to help me perform. It's going to get me more focused. It's going to help me through it. Sometimes that's the truth. sometimes that's so far.
Well, you gotta tell
so
yourself,
far from the truth.
You gotta tell yourself that, because I did the same thing when I was on at improv. I used to do weekly shows on stage, and I was just like, no, it's good that I feel like this. Like, it's scary. I love being scared. It's like a roller coaster. Like,
yeah,
yay.
absolutely.
But it was really. There was times where I was like, I wish I was doing coke right now instead of being on this stage, because I'm terrified. I'm terrified of being here. Everybody's looking at me. Everybody's staring at me. But I realized it's like a rush. That's the rush I want, not from drugs.
Yes,
you know
no,
what I mean?
you are so correct on that.
If you could put in a pill what being on stage feels like, that'd be the drug I'd die on.
I think that is the most genuinely correct statement I've heard possibly in my entire life. I think
there's nothing like it.
We gotta invent this sometime.
No, swear.
Oh my goodness.
If we could put that into a pill, it's like
Copyright it?
limitless, like the Bradley Cooper movie. I would totally be on
That's insane.
be
No.
on that all the time. But no, we don't live in that world where we come up with our own drugs and our own feelings, and
Yeah.
we gotta live with what we got now, and it's kind of lame and it kind of sucks. But
Sometimes there's alternatives.
yeah, there is alternatives. But I'm glad you are finding ways to express yourself and really just move, because you're so young. Oh my god,
Yeah.
you're such a baby. And it's so funny because we were just talking about me and my last episode, Tanner, about how we started being friends again when we were 19, when we stopped being friends when we were 16,
Right.
and how such a formative time being 19 is. I was like, you could not pay me enough money in the world to go back and be 19 years old again. You can't. There's not one benefit to being 19 except I was like, skinnier. I don't know what I don't remember, but
out of everything that has been said tonight, I think that is what's going to be the most truthful thing in all this. I think that's the most that the viewers can relate with this. I think that's definitely something that everyone can relate with. So right now, this is, like I said, I still feel numb. I haven't felt normal in a long time, but I'm happy. I know I'm happy. I wake up happy. I go to bed happy. Now, like I said, I still have my depressive episodes, but I always find a way to be happy no matter what it is. And it's without using drugs. It's without popping pills. I find ways to make myself happy. Whether, something that really makes me happy is making other people laugh. I absolutely adore making other people laugh. And sometimes, I am a goofball.
But that's the best, though. I've always used that as like my way to get to people, is like, I'm gonna make them laugh, and watch, as soon as they laugh, they're gonna be my friend.
I almost had a tear in my eye right there. That was so true.
No, I swear, like, that's how I got Emma. I was like, this bitch is so mean and she doesn't like anybody, and but she's gonna like me, and here we go, and that's how it's gonna be. And then look at us now.
There's some days
Check it out
where
now.
I'll tell Emma something and I'm like, bro, she's gonna laugh at this. I know she is. And then she just looks at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like,
No, but
okay.
isn't it like the biggest reward in the world, though, when you do make her laugh?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
it's like the best thing. It's the best medicine. Best thing I've ever heard is Emma's laugh. Got me through freshman year at UNT, I'll tell you that.
That's awesome.
No, so I get that, and I love that you love making people laugh. That's literally what I do. That is my whole life, and it's such a nice outlet, and it's so, I feel like if somebody's like, I want you to produce one sound, the best sound you've ever heard, what would it be? It has to be laughter. You can't hurt while you're laughing. You can cry while you're laughing, because if
Yes.
it's like crying, like happy, like I've never felt so that, like, it just an overflow of emotions that's just positive.
Yes.
And I love it.
I mean, it can be like the sweatiest laugh of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, if they're laughing, I mean, that's I in my experience in lifetime, my 19 years of being on this big blue and green earth, as blue and green as it is, I haven't felt a more gratifying feeling other than making someone laugh. I think that is the closest thing that a human can come to pure joy. It really is. And that's, other people may feel differently on that, but putting a smile on someone's face, that is one of the biggest things to me. And if I can put a smile on your face, I think we are going to be good friends. So and
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, you definitely put a smile on my face, Ryan. I'll tell you that.
Thank you. You did me too. Man, I'm really enjoying this. I was nervous at first, but
No,
we living it up in the air.
How are you gonna do this? Carefully. How are you gonna do this podcast? Slowly.
Carefully.
Carefully. So, your outlets now. No more drugs.
Okay.
What do we do now?
Okay, so a couple big things for me. is occasionally I still do go to AA meetings, and even though I did drink, but I really wouldn't consider myself an alcoholic. But seeing people who have addictive personalities as well, that is something that helps me maintain my composure and helps me continue to move forward in life. Because there are a lot of other people with whatever substance it is, they have been they have hit their rock bottoms,
Oh, yeah.
and when you can relate with someone, that's it. It feels really nice to know that there are other people who have went through the same pain that you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go to AA meetings occasionally, and then like I said, I go to past rehab facilities, and I'm a guest speaker there. But probably my biggest thing is I'm a major advocate for CBD and kratom. And kratom and CBD both they are legal. And
I've heard kratom be used as for specifically opiate
yes, correct.
abusers and I remember a couple years back when it was about to be illegal again or something like that, and they really fought for it to stay because
Yes.
it's so helpful
Yes.
to opiate abusers, and it's great to see that something actually I've tried kratom before, and I think if I would have liked hydros more, I feel like I would have liked kratom more. Like, because it's because I feel like I don't like the downing part of that. I'm more of a Adderall person, but I feel like I get the how it helps and why. Like, because you could take all the kratom you want, you're not gonna die.
No, I've never seen, and I've done so. Whatever I used, I did a lot of research, minus heroin. I did a lot of research on what I used to see how it would affect me, and obviously drugs affect everyone differently, like I said. But yeah, kratom no one has overdosed from kratom. There's 3 deaths ever in history linked to kratom, and those 3 times they didn't die because of kratom. They died because of the drugs that they mixed with kratom.
Oh.
So as long as you're doing it appropriately and you're being smart about it.
Well, there's a reason it's legal too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's something that you've found that has helped, and that's good to know that it doesn't, like, because my fear with it's like, okay, you're just replacing, what you were doing, but to me, I feel like you could, because I did kratom like 6 times and it felt the same every time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the joke, is that you don't have to do a shitload of kratom to feel better.
So, I've heard that a few times, that people have told me, "Oh, you're just switching, one drug for another." Okay, well, I'm doing something that, first of all, is natural. It comes from, kratom comes from, it originates over in Indonesia, Malaysia, places like that.
And it's like a leaf?
It's a leaf. It's powder.
Powder,
It's a leaf that they grind into powder, or you can get it in liquid form, which is the stronger form. And I actually have one of those shots on me right now. It's called a kratom shot, and it is the more potent form of kratom. The liquid is the most potent form that you can find, but it's nothing like using pills was. It doesn't make me feel bad afterwards.
I didn't feel like shit afterwards. I could drive. Like, everything
absolutely.
Everything was fine. I just wanted to see what it was about, because they always have it at smoke shops, and I'm always in and out of smoke shops. Just seeing what's up with that, but because we love our local smoke shop. But I always saw, like, it's like, 50 pills for $20. I'm like, you know what? That doesn't sound. It doesn't sound so cheap that something's wrong with it, but it's not so expensive that I can't try it.
Right?
You know
no,
what I mean? So,
you're 100% correct on that.
Yeah. So it was just different. If I feel like if I liked downers more, I might have been more into it. But I'll stick with my Vyvanse.
So the kratom that you tried, did you try the powder, or like the powder in capsule form?
Bali.
The white Bali. Okay, so let me tell you so there's, from my knowledge, there's 12 different strains of kratom, and then there's actually a 13th that they call train wrecked, which has all 12 strains together. When it's kind of like, marijuana, in the same sense that they have different strains. Right. The different strains react to you differently. That's the true kratom. So there is a white Meng Da and a red Meng Da, and those act like more of an upper than they actually do a downer, which is a really, really interesting thing. Because I heard if
you take it in small doses, it's more like an upper. But if you take it in major doses, if you take it in bigger doses, it's more like a downer.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's really interesting to did you have a trial and error period where you're like, let me do this much today and see what it feels like, and then tomorrow I'll do this? And
yeah, absolutely. So I have I mean, I've been taking kratom for about a year, as long as I've been sober, which is awesome, and it's something that I'm actually proud of that I say that I do, and I actually recommend that to opioid users or people who are withdrawing from opioids, because that is an outlet that's legal. There isn't much research done it yet, but so far it seems to be, a safer alternative.
Because I mean, I feel like it's everybody's goal to be, where you wake up and you don't need something.
Oh, I hope that one day I'm gonna be there, but I'm not
as
there
I
yet.
smoke on my vape, me, I love not doing things every day. No, if I didn't have my vape, that vape is like my pacifier, bro. Like I always have it. Now that I can't see it immediately, I'm freaking. Oh, here it is. But no. So that's great that you found that outlet, and I really hope that with your new sober life, you'll find much more things to make you happy. Many more people to talk to and make them laugh, and I feel like you don't have a problem at all making people laugh. You're a very charming guy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
that,
no,
man,
absolutely.
that put a smile on my
Hell
face
yeah,
and a smile
so-
on my heart. So
Right. I'll smile on your heart. Gay.
Brian,
Gay.
you're so gay.
You're the first person I have. No, I don't think I talked about this with Tanner. It's like your sexuality. Are you fully straight?
To be continued.
Okay, damn.
that's so funny.
Someone who's not sure. So, that'll be our next episode, Ryan. It's definitely not going to be our first time on the mics together for sure. Was there anything else you wanted to say to anybody? Any shouts out?
Shout out to my family, my friends, all the counselors and therapists and psychiatrists that I've been through. All the people who haven't given up on me. There have been so many times where I gave up on myself, but everyone else around me still continued to care. And a lot of people around me saw potential in myself that I didn't, or saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself. And the support from everyone, really helped me get through it. Really, ultimately, everyone has to make their own decision to be sober. But if it wasn't for the help that I have received in my life, I would either be in jail or I would be dead by now. I have no doubt in my mind.
And help is available, just for everybody listening. Help is available. Speak with someone today. That number for the National Helpline for Addiction is 1-800-662-4357. 1-800-662-4357. They're available 24/7 to talk to you if you need any help with addiction or anything that has to do with addiction, or someone you love has an addiction.
Never be afraid.
Never be afraid for that help. It is out there. It is available. It is 2021, and we are doing it big time. But Ryan, I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming out here and talking with me. It's been a real pleasure.
Dude, it's been a pleasure for me. This is awesome. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to come speak on this show. Bless up, everybody. Be safe. Make smart decisions.
Keep it real out there.